Okay, so you can create a folder here. Okay, the folder is ready. Under the folder, you need to run these two commands. The first command will set up the environment of React, and second command will create a new project. So first you run this command in CMD. We can open the CMD under the React folder. We can open CMD under the React.js folder. Open CMD in React.js folder. In that CMD, you can run the first command. The first command came to your chat. That first command you can run here. I have already installed, so I will not run again. Just you write that and enter. Hope the first command is going on. Once first command is completed, you can execute the second command there only. I will share that in chat. Second command will create a new project. First command will set up the environment for React. Hope your second command is going on. Ajit, you need to create a folder called React.js, and in React.js folder you can open CMD. Create folder React.js, and under the React.js folder, open the CMD. In that CMD, you can run this command first. This will set up the environment for React. I sent you the command in chat. You can run that command first. It will set up the environment. Once that get complete, you can run the second command also. It will set up a new project. Will be the project one will be. Like this way you can open CMD in the your React folder. You can create a folder React.js. In that open CMD, and there you run the first command. After running first command, once that get ready, then you can run the second command. First command will take less time because it just download few setup and install in your system. And second one will take little more time because it's need to download the entire library of React and set up in your system. Okay, so is it completed or going on?
Still it is going on.
Anyone completed or still going on for all? You can ping once it's ready. You can message in the chat, yes, completed. One person completed, remaining. If he say yes, no, then we can move next. The completion should be there first. Anyone going on still?
So for me, the second command is running, still running, sir. So actually, I got an error showing the uh, npm. So some package has been not installed. Command failed git version.
No problem. Some warning message will come.
Okay.
Last what it says, happy hacking or something else?
So for me, it's not
Happy.
showing happy hacking. So
What is showing?
we suggest that you begin typing CD project one NMT start happy hacking.
That's one I asked, happy hacking is there or not?
Yes, sir.
Then it is ready.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now come to your project folder. You will see one folder will be ready called project one. Inside the project one, node modules. It's a complete list of library that required to develop a project in React. Node modules is a complete library. Those all are required to develop a project in Angular or React. Okay. For Angular also this node modules is required. For React also node modules is required. Now under the node modules you will find, if you go there you will find so many hundred folders and files with their listed libraries. These all are core module. Core module. This is required every time whenever we want to set up a new project. This core module is compulsory required. Now after that you have a public folder. The public folder is where we can keep some images file. We can keep some JSON file for testing purpose. We can keep some other kind of files and then we can use it. Inside public folder, you have one index.html file. I have kept some photos here already. It is a copy of my other class. Let me delete few files from here. You will have one index.html file and few logos. This photo may not be there. This photo I have kept separately here. You will have this much only. In that index.html file is the main file. In that index.html file is the main file. Index.html is going to touch with the browser. Browser is going to in touch with the index.html. Okay, hold on. I have one. We have discussed long back also when we start the syllabus. We have discussed something like this. We have discussed something like this. User usually interaction happen to the browser. Browser deal with the HTML. Now this HTML will be responsible to communicate with the JavaScript, communicate with the CSS, and JavaScript will become responsible to communicate with the API, bring the data from backend, send the data to backend, maybe using the live server, maybe using the JSON server, maybe using any backend API URL. JavaScript will be responsible. React is also JavaScript only. React is also JavaScript only. A small changes we have. Instead of writing the direct JavaScript, we write as a JSX, JavaScript and XML. This is JSX. We have some certain rule regulation. We will make a note and then we'll follow it. So when you look into your React project folder, we also found public folder, and the public folder have a file called index.html. So once we compile this page, once we compile the project file, after compilation of the project file, we will get the list of once we compile the project file, then while compiling, your browser will be interacting with this index file only. This index file is the main file where browser interaction is going to happen. In React project, if you are developing a project in React, or now suppose what we have downloaded, in entire project, in entire React project, you will find only one HTML file, that is called this index.html file. Remaining, whichever the file you are going to create, it will not be as a HTML file. It will be as a JS file. It will be as a JavaScript file. Okay. So in React, we don't have any option to create as a HTML file. The file will be as a JavaScript file, and the JavaScript file will have a combination of HTML, JavaScript based on the rule of the XML, that is called JSX. Okay, the JavaScript file will have HTML and JavaScript together, not like so much complex like what we have followed till now. It will be simple, only JavaScript separate, HTML separate, but we can mix easily. It will not be as complex as JavaScript we have seen till now. Now in that, we will be writing the HTML also and JavaScript. So that is the next how we are going to write. So public folder is having one file called index.html, and that index.html is going to deal with the browser directly. Now main and main folder is called src folder. Whichever the file we are going to create inside the project, all the files will come under this folder only. That is called src folder. src folder will have a combination of so many files, so many things, all will be under the src folder. Now, if I look into the src folder, I have some files here because it is the copy of my previous class. Let me delete those files. I will also come to the normal. Okay. 8 minutes. There was some modification in my file. I will also make it as your files you have. Yeah. Okay. So now leave this file what I wrote. This all are we are going to discuss. Now come. So the src folder, I hope you have the similar number of files in your src folder also. So this src folder is the main folder where where we are going to create our pages. It may be we can create folder wise. Suppose in a project we have a lot of functionality related to user. You can create a user folder and keep all the user file in user folder. Maybe you have product related functionality. You can create a product folder you can store here. Where? Under the src folder only. Maybe you have the vendor related functionality. You can create a vendor folder and store all the files under the vendor folder. Okay. So those all will be under the src folder only. You can either keep in the main folder directly src, or you can create your own file and you can keep here. Okay. Now this files what you see is a JavaScript file. Okay, JavaScript file. And this JavaScript file you cannot run directly as we have run in the browser. We have seen earlier, we used to just create a HTML file, link with the JavaScript and run directly in the browser. React, Angular, this library is not designed in that way. These libraries are based on Node.js. Okay, Node.js. Node.js is going to support your project. First, you have to compile the project. After compilation of the project, once your project source code is compiled successfully, then only you can run your page in the browser. So this is like a you can say once we want to compile, once we want to run the React folder or Angular folder, Like you can see earlier we have seen the JSON, not JSON server, live server we have installed that was running on 5500 port number. Similar way, Angular have a port number, React has a port number, Apache has a port number. Your Skype you install in your computer that has a port number. When you install the Java Tomcat and all, it has a port number. Okay, maybe .NET run IIS run on the similar way, Angular and React, when we compile it, it has a default port number. Okay, so after compilation, it will produce a port number. On that port number, we can see the page and we can see the output of our which one of our React or Angular project. So first, what we are going to do, we are going to run a command called npm start. Npm is called Node Package Manager. Full form is Node Package Manager. Node Package Manager. When we have installed the Node.js, that time only, along with Node.js, one more package is got installed in your system. That is called npm, Node Package Manager. Whenever you run your project through CLI command line interface, npm plays a major important role. npm is responsible to compile your project. npm is responsible to install something in your project. npm is responsible. Through npm you can do many things. Okay, through npm you are going to create the build of the project. So that library, Node Package Manager, okay, it has a collection of library. That library is going to take care to run the command and complete the task in few minutes using the CLI through the command line interface. Okay, so npm is going to help us to compile our React project. The project you have set up now, there is no any file that you can run directly. These all are interlinked file in the JavaScript file. Okay, so this JavaScript file, it has to compile by the npm Node Package Manager, and once the Node Package Manager will confirm us, yes, your project successfully compiled. Now this is the port number. On that port number, I have compiled your project. You can go and look into the browser. Then only we can see the output of the project what is got set up as of now. Okay, so we are also going to run npm start. Npm start command is going to compile our project. It's going to check the source code. If everything is well, then compilation will happen success, and finally it will say yes, your project is ready in the browser on this particular port number. So now let me go here to the CMD. In the CMD, like maybe you are under the directly, see, mine is pointing to the project one folder, where yours is project. Yours will be something like this, React.js. Yours will be something pointing like this, React.js. Now to compile the project, we have to go inside the project folder. Then only we can run the compile command. Okay, we have to go under the project folder. Then only we can run the compilation command. So how to do that? So for that, let us come to the CMD here only. Write CD space the project folder name, project project one. Or maybe once you write CD pro and press the tab, automatically project one will come. CD space pro and press the tab, automatically project one will come. Enter. Now you are pointing to the project one folder. Under the project one folder, we have to run a command called npm start. We are going to inform to the Node Package Manager under the project one folder, all the script is organized properly. Everything is set up, is ready. Now please compile my source code and check if any error. Let me know. If there is no error, then let me see which port number I can run it. So for that, we have to write here npm start. npm start. So now npm start, once you give the instruction to your this CMD, right, project compilation will start. It may take 1 or 2 minutes. Just write npm start, enter. may open directly your browser. You can see it says compiled successfully. After that, it says compiled successfully. You can view the project in browser on localhost 3000 port number, or below you can use the network level also. You can use through the IP elsewhere. So hope your compilation is completed and you can see your page directly appear in the browser. Anything directly localhost 3000 port number is open. It maybe take some time to compile. I can go to the browser and I can run here localhost 3000, and then I can see in my page something else will come. React is working. I have written some CSS there. So those things no matter. For you, it will give you the welcome page, React default page. For you, it will give the React default page. Problem will come, Ajit, if you have internet problem. Problem will come, sure. If there will be internet related issue, problem will come. Because it has to download lot of files and folder. For that one, sufficient internet is required. It will get failure for those people who has internet related issue.
इसमें आ रहा है कि npm does not support Node.js version 16.13.1.
Okay, so which version of Node.js you have?
Version 16.13.1.
Okay, OS, which OS you are using?
Windows 10.
Windows 10.
जी.
Windows 10, then you can update the Node.js. For Windows 10, there is no problem. For Windows 10, update the Node.js. Maybe you
सर
need,
मैं बहुत सा प्रोजेक्ट इंस्टॉल किया हूँ, करीब 20-25 प्रोजेक्ट इंस्टॉल किया हूँ, इशू नहीं आ रहा था, लेकिन आज इशू आ रहा है. पहले
इसमें क्यों आ गया?
पता नहीं सर क्यों नहीं आ रहा है. क्योंकि
इंटरनेट
15-20 प्रोजेक्ट में काम किया हूँ, इस पे बना के छोटा प्रोजेक्ट पे, तो उस पे इशू नहीं आ रहा था, लेकिन इसमें इशू आ रहा है सर.
प्रोजेक्ट
अभी
डाउनलोड किए कि क्या किए?
थोड़ा सा सिस्टम खराब हुआ तो ये बनवाया है, उसके बाद इशू आ रहा है, पता नहीं क्या है.
नहीं तो विंडो ओएस का तो गड़बड़ी नहीं है. ओएस कौन है? विच इज द ओएस? विंडो विंडो 10. Okay, so for Windows 10, there should not be any problem. Other option is there. The other option I can guide you in this way. You are in the laptop or where?
लैपटॉप से.
Zoom app you are using or browser? How you log in?
ब्राउजर से सब लोग.
If you log in browser, then this file will not come. If you log in through the Zoom app, then I can share you the few base code, and then you can do the npm install. The remaining thing will come. Okay, so what you can do is, you have any other setup, other project, running project?
Yes, sir. I have running project also.
You can use any existing running project. All from the src folder, delete everything, keep this many files, index an app, and delete other, and you can use that also. Else, if not happening in that way, then you can find some other way and install. Internet is sufficient now.
100 Mbps sir. Net.
इंटरनेट ठीक है तो आना चाहिए.
Net का issue नहीं, net 100 Mbps.
So you can do like this also. Like suppose if you have any other running project, in that src folder, you might have many files. Okay. So you delete all the files and keep only one file. This many files. You can delete remaining other and keep this many files. This is sufficient. Now from here we can continue and you can do it. Okay, so compilation is done. Up use कीजिए. Any other project you can follow, whichever you have, or you can find some other way and do the setup of that. I will go next now. So this project is running. Okay, project आप use कर लो. कोई दूसरा existing project है उसको use कर लो अभी आप, ठीक है?
कर लो.
Go to src folder and use any existing project whichever you have. Okay, now let's come. In this one CMD is running, this is your live server. If you stop this server, then you cannot see the output here in the browser. Okay. If you stop that server, we cannot see the we cannot see this output in the browser. So this live server is compulsory. It must be running. It must be running. If it is keep running, then no problem. Your everything will be well. Now come to the next. This CMD you leave as usual. Don't modify. Open one more CMD here in your project one folder. Open one more CMD, right inside, code space dot, enter, project will load. Code space dot, once we do, our project will get open. So now you have two CMD. One CMD where you have just opened the code space dot to initialize the project into the CMD. To initialize the project under the CMD. Right, hope CMD is opened. Inside this CMD, inside the VS Code, you will go to the src folder and you will click on app.js file. Click on src folder and go to app.js file. src folder and go to app.js file. Okay, and in this app.js file, some content you have by default. You can delete everything I will also delete everything. Delete all, complete A to Z you delete here. Delete A to Z from here. Okay, after deleting A to Z from the, you can say browser, from the app.js file, let's write a function called app, function app. See, app is nothing, it's already linked, so we are using app now. We can give any function name. It is nothing like it should be only app, it can be any function name. So just we given as a app. After giving app, come inside, return h1 welcome React.js. Below, see, this code is going to be little different compared to what we have written till now and learned till now. Inside JavaScript, directly you are writing HTML. So it is not your JavaScript code and HTML code. It is called as a JSX. JSX. It's called as a JSX. Okay, it is going to call as a JSX. JSX. After writing that, few days we have seen some feature called import. Import meaning was you are going to call from somewhere, and export meaning was we are going to send it somewhere. So we have a keyword here called export. We will apply here and we will write here called app, export app. But usually it's giving one error saying like export app you have written, this look like there is a syntax problem. The syntax problem. Okay. No problem, we have a solution, we can find it out. Now suppose export meaning is what? We are going to call this function, app function somewhere else. Wherever we are going to call, how we are going to call, that is the next thing to discuss. But when we say export app, that meaning the function app is able to call by someone else. Function app is ready to call by someone else. Function app anyone can call. Anyone can call means within the project we can call the function one anywhere. Okay, within the project function one we can call anywhere. But React.js says like, dear, suppose one file you have app.js file. So inside the app.js file, one function you have written called app. It is not necessary there will be only one function. When we come to functional component in the React, we have to study something. So there in one file, we can create multiple function, or maybe if you think like as a JavaScript, then in one file, we can create multiple function also. Okay. In one file, we can create the multiple function. So if the logic is in one file, we can create multiple function. Then React wanted to know in one file multiple function you created, then which one is the master function, which one is the leading function, which one is the leading function. Okay, because few function will be the main function, one function will be the main function, and remaining other function will be as a child function. So React wanted to know which is your main function. So whichever is the main function, In front of the main function, default keyword should apply. In front of the main function, default keyword must be applied, and it is not optional part. It is somewhere compulsory part. Okay, it is compulsory part. Without that, we cannot move next. So export was already clear from beginning. App is the function name. Default why we are using here. Default concept says in one file there can be multiple function. So out of multiple function, which one is the hero function, which one is the main function, which one is the leading function, that function must follow with the export default keyword. Okay. Now after that, this file will be ready to used by someone else. Now who will use, that is the next matter. Save your file and look into the browser. You will find save the file and look it once in the browser. Welcome, something is coming. What we have written now, whichever we have written now, that should come now in the browser. Save now, look into the browser. Once you go to the browser, by default, it will say welcome React.js. So we understood where is the source. The main source is app.js file. The main source is app.js file. From app.js file only, the data is coming in the browser. Now, what are the files are in the link? That is the next matter to understand. We will create a design. Through the design, we will understand. Before going and understanding the design and how it is going to work, we will see some more thing. Few things are important to understand from the JSX, JavaScript and XML. JSX, that is called JavaScript and XML. We are already aware of JSX. Okay, we know HTML, we know JavaScript. Just we will mix all together. It will become a JSX based on some certain rule regulation. Okay, so hope no one have any error and you are able to see in the browser. Welcome React.js. Let us come now. App.js file is the main file to understand and start learning from here. The app.js file is the main file to understand and start learning from here. Okay. Now look at here. You have written H1. You save the file. Output it come in the browser. No problem at all. Go here. After H1, write a paragraph. Write a paragraph. Inside the paragraph, you write React, you are awesome. React, you are awesome. As soon as we wrote React, you are awesome, it's starting throwing the error. See, there is no such language. If you write H1, then okay. But once we add the paragraph, we started throwing the error. We have never seen this like in anywhere in the JavaScript and HTML. Right? Hope you saw the error. It says like, yes, there is an error. You cannot write like this. H1 and paragraph, you can't write like this. If you cannot write H1 and paragraph like this, then it's a problem. How we can make the page, like how we can add multiple division and also many things. We have written H1 and paragraph is okay here. There is no problem at all. Since it is not following the rule of JSX, JavaScript and XML, JSX, your React is based on JSX now. So it is the code what you have written H1 and paragraph. It is not following the rule regulation of, it is not following the guidelines of which one? JSX, JavaScript and XML. Because of that is throw the error and it is saying like, no, you cannot write the code like this. Okay. Then what is the solution for that? Let's go and see the solution. Follow a div tag. open the div in the beginning and close the div in the last as a parent tag. Open the div and close the div here in the last as a parent tag. Open and close. Save it. You will see it's become cool. There is no error at all. H1 and paragraph we have written individually, it was throwing the error. As soon as we kept inside the division, it is saying like it's okay, it will work now. Save the file, you can see in the browser, it will work and it will show the output properly. Happening, let's save it. Look into the browser now. See no error, it's saying like React, you are awesome. So what you have written here, it is the rule of JSX. It is the rule of JSX. JSX, what is like? It's based on XML. XML have some certain rule regulation. That rule regulation was not following here. Because of that, it has given the error. Now go here, right? Hope is working for all. Next, after that, we can come to the same page. Div you have written. Instead of div, write as a ABC, open and ABC close. ABC open and ABC close. Save the file, you will find it is working well. Open the file, open the ABC, close the ABC, look into the browser, you can reload your page, you will find it is working well, there is no any problem at all. No problem. ABC is not a predefined tag, it is user defined tag. ABC is not a predefined tag, it's a user defined tag. So ABC becomes a user defined tag. As per the rule of the XML, ABC is not predefined tag, so that becomes a user defined tag. Okay. Next come. But ABC is a parent. Here there is no matter whether it's a user defined tag or predefined tag. As per the rule, as per the JSX rule, there must be one parent tag. Okay. Parent tag should be there. Okay, as per the JSX rule, there must be one parent tag. Which is the parent tag, whether it's a user defined tag, predefined tag, no matter. 5 rules we have, we will be making a documentation. In that we will make the note. Just randomly I'm showing you how it's look. Now remove this ABC and let it be only as a empty tag. Empty tag. Save the file. You will see in the browser, still it is working well. Save the file. You will see in the browser, still it is working well. Hope it is working. right? Now after that, that meaning again here is the matter of whether it's a user defined tag, predefined tag, or empty tag, no issue at all, but there must be one parent element. So empty tag becomes a parent element. Let us look next. Remove empty tag and keep here one square bracket and keep here close the square bracket, this array what we have gone through, and after every tag you put a comma. Here I will add one more paragraph just to understand in better way. Third p tag, save it. So at this place now, if you remember the array, how it was, array start from the square bracket, end by square bracket. Inside we need to follow the elements, every element end by comma, last element no need to follow the comma. It is exactly same now. Your square bracket is working like is a parent element. Here H1 is the one element, H2 is the second element, H3 is the third element, H3 is the third element, okay. So this is also possible. So how many ways you saw? Number one, we have written only H1, it was working well. When we written the paragraph, it started throwing the error. Then we have kept both inside a division tag. It's work well. After that, division we replaced with. After that division we replaced with ABC. It was working well. ABC we replaced with the empty tag, was working well. Now empty tag we replace by square bracket is a array symbol, but in this we have to give the comma after every element. Last comma is optional. If I look into the browser, it works well and comma will not display anywhere at all. See, third p tag is coming, comma is not displaying anywhere, right? So hope you are understanding the particular point. So how many ways we have written? 3 ways we have written. Okay, so that come from the JSX rule. So first, before writing any kind of React code, before writing any kind of example under the React, we will be following the rule of the JSX. We will have a documentation guide, documentation file. Under the documentation file, we will be making a list of, first we will see XML, how XML work, because JSX is called JavaScript and XML. So your code HTML remains same, JavaScript code remains same, but rule and regulation will come from the XML. So first we will see that what is that rule regulation. Okay, what is the policies of the this one XML. Once we understand the rule regulation of XML, then we will come to the our documentation guide and we will make a note of 5 rules. JSX, what React code you are going to write, HTML and JavaScript together, that will be based on 5 rules. We will make a note of all 5 rules, and after that we'll start with the component creation and then creating the page and linking, writing the CSS and the functionality wise one by one. Okay. So, but that we will see again from Monday. JSX and all project setup is ready. For few people there is an error, they need to fix the problem. As soon as you make it ready, get it ready, and then let's log in from the Monday again, and we will see the remaining things. Remaining things in the sense like how to go ahead with the React. It is interesting topic only. Just you don't break your regularity. Be regular. Attend regular classes. It will be very, very interesting. Okay. If you are attending the regular class, it will be very, very interesting part. Okay. So we'll see you again day after tomorrow, Monday. By then, that's now. So for anyone has problem in the setup, except him, yours Ajit, you can either set up the new project or existing project you can copy and work on that. If that is also not happening, then I have other solution. Next class, once you join, you need to download the Zoom app. See here, the Zoom app is there. Zoom app you need to download and install in your computer. After that, I will guide you. I will share you the setup file. In that remaining thing you can install from your side, and then we can move next from there. Okay. Okay, then we can log out now.